Rurikhan, I might be saying his name wrong, but thanks to him, he got an exclusive interview with the developers of Wilds, and he asked them a bunch of questions. So now we can watch and see what the questions were and what their answers were. I'm excited because I haven't watched this yet. I've been trying to avoid spoilers on it, like always. So yeah. Let's just like dive in. I want to see.
Okay.
Oh, does it just open up with the trailer?
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
This is gonna be great!
Okay, good. It ends there.
What is your favorite weapon in Wild so far? And do you usually
Wait, I'm covering
slay
him.
monsters more often?
Lads.
I use the lance, and I've always used it since the beginning of the series. So it's really fun in Wilds as well, and I'm not changing from my main weapon. Actually, the director...
Okay, this is really nice. Thank you so much for editing it this way. As much as I really want to hear them speak, I hate having to wait for them to speak and then wait for the translator because I want to know their answers. So thank you for editing it this way. This is beautiful. I'm very happy.
Tokuda-san is always asking me, hey, you need to use a bit more of a wider variety of weapons here, but... I'm sticking to my lance.
Yeah, stick to what you love.
As the director, I, of course, play through all the weapons to test them out. I've been getting quite into hunting horn in Monster Hunter Wilds. It's really fun in this game. But more recently, I've actually been using the charge blade. It's really fun and satisfying to use. It's
what do you think Ryozo is gonna say?
That lets you destroy the wounds. As for capture or slay, in the earlier stages, I think I like to use capture as a way to end the hunt sooner whenever my gear isn't maybe quite up to the level if I'm fighting against a very strong monster. But
He's
once
so
I get
cute.
stronger and stronger in the
I don't know
later
why. I
stages
just
of the
like
game,
watching his mannerisms.
I go slay happy.
All right, Ryozo. All right. If Ryozo doesn't say hammer here, I quit.
As you all probably know, I'm famously a hammer main, and I always have been. Again, Tokuda-san tends to ask me to maybe explore other options and deepen my knowledge of the other weapons, but...
That's literally me with chat. That's literally me with chat. Everyone's like, "Per, don't you want to try other weapons?" And I'm like, "No, only hammer." "Don't you want to learn how the other weapons work?" "No, only hammer."
I don't see the need to do that.
Yeah, my answer exactly. I don't see the need to do that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely slay over capture, you know.
Yes,
I think you need to...
and oh my gosh, Ryozo and I are literally the same person. The same. Always slay over capture.
Monster Hunter traditionally strikes a balance between
Tommy Toon, thank you for the biddies. Thank you.
action combat and hunting simulation. Things like eating food, sharpening your weapon,
Thank you for the resub,
hot and
Nyagu.
cold drinks. How are you balancing these two aspects in Monster Hunter Wilds?
I think it's important to have realistic and immersive hunter simulation aspects of the game, like the ones you mentioned, like eating food, sharpening your weapon, dealing with temperature changes in the environment. And you know, these are all included in one way or another in Monster Hunter Wilds. But I think our approach since Monster Hunter World has been, don't let those kind of get in the way of the main hunting action by becoming too much of a kind of
Thank you.
admin task you have to
That's
manage
so
at all
good.
times. Especially with things like reducing the amount of
Wait,
items
wait.
you need to...
This UI, I haven't seen this yet. Look how nice his UI looks.
stock up on and have on you at all times. They're a sort of a finite resource you have
Oh wait, what'd that say? I need to see that again.
need to stock up on and have on you at all times.
Put items for hunts in your item pouch. You can also auto replenish your items at your box with the Y triangle, whatever it is. Okay, that's the same.
They're a sort of a finite resource. You have to either be
But no, I was reading that. That like went so fast. Material items obtained from hunts are automatically stored in your item box each time you access the camp menu. Nice, nice. That's very good.
be purchasing or crafting, because it just becomes inventory management at that point. So as with some aspects in Monster Hunter World, where we changed it from an item to another sort of mechanic that you would use to deal with things, aspects like temperature and hot and cold and that kind of thing, we've got, you know, maybe a different approach this time around that will
So wait, oh wait. Are they saying that we won't need hot and cold drinks anymore? That it's all gonna be dependent on the food? Is that what I'm getting from that? So we don't have to worry about drinks now. We're gonna have to just really work on making the food instead. I think that's what they were trying to say, right? That's kind of what it seemed like.
hopefully reduce that overhead of admin and let you
Yeah, because they're trying to reduce the overhead of how much like item management you have to do. So getting rid of hot and cold drinks would do that. Because I know for a fact that when you make food, you can make food that'll make it so that it negates like cold and hot weather effects. That's what it seemed like.
just focus on the hunting action itself a little bit more.
Once you've dealt enough damage to it.
やっぱりモンスタ
The
ーを
hunting simulation thing, though, is not so much that as depicting the humans as part of the ecosystem the monsters live in. The monster's behavior is designed to be plausible in terms of being a living creature, not just a video game boss. So if they're
I'm sure there will be an armor skill for hot and cold, but we've already been shown during the Gamescom play that when you make food, you can make food to negate the hot and cold effects as well. So you can definitely do it through food. It's just whether of whether it'll be only through that way or if hot and cold drinks will also be a thing.
moving around a lot, they're going to get hungry and they might.
Because they said they're trying to work on item management. So does that mean... Wait, here's a good way to look. Well, not a good way. If they showed it. 351. I don't see... I mean, granted, this just could just mean that they don't have it in their inventory, but there's no hot or cold drinks in here. So maybe. I could have just been like interpreting that so wrong.
Might go and find prey. If they get exhausted, they want to go and sleep and recover. Like, these are realistic behaviors for an animal creature to have. So it wouldn't make sense if the hunter was just a superhuman who didn't have any of these needs, who, if you were moving around a lot, didn't get hungry and need to eat to bring their stamina back.
Players love getting rewards like weapon skins from event quests. But in Sunbreak, a lot of the more unique weapon skins were only available through paid DLC. What are your plans for Monster Hunter Wilds?
まず基本的な重ね着装備
The basic layered armor system, so-called transmog, will be unlocked at a certain point as you progress through the game, and then
Okay, so it's going to be like World, where you can't get layered armor right away. So not like Rise, you have to actually unlock it.
once you unlock it, you'll freely be able to create any layered armor that you want.
Hopefully by freely create, they don't mean with guiding lands.
We do also have plans to make some extra special layered armor that will be made available as paid DLC.
Let's go. Time to spend
Because
money.
of the current trends
'Cause I will.
in Western games, players are afraid that one day Monster Hunter DLC might include monster materials or paid
Okay, whoever had this worry, it's a valid worry. I'm not saying it's not a valid worry, but I think like anyone who knows the Monster Hunter development team knows that this is something they will never ever do. Never ever.
to win items. So far, Monster Hunter DLC has remained aesthetic only. Can you confirm that is still going to be the case moving forward?
He showed the scene where he stabs him in the butt.
Confirm that is still going to be the case moving forward?
No, it's not like people are stupid for having that worry. It's just like, I guess, like having faith in the team that makes the Monster Hunter games. And you can't use Monster Hunter Now as a comparison because Monster Hunter Now is made by Niantic, and like like those games are always dependent on microtransactions like that. But main Monster Hunter games never have and probably never will have that kind of microtransaction.
Yeah, we're sticking with the same direction we've always had.
The Monster Hunter team is always going to like prevail over what Capcom wants in like terms of microtransactions. Cause like they this is their baby and they know damn well that it makes a lot of money for Capcom without microtransactions. So I think they will always prevail in what they want out of Monster Hunter. Dragon's Dogma 2, totally different devs. Like they can try to say it was Capcom's idea all they want, but they still made it. I think Ryozo and all of them are so against that kind of microtransaction, they will never ever implement it, no matter of what other Capcom games do.
Elemental damage going to
oh wait,
play
also
a more
he answered the question
in Monster
and I
Hunter
missed
Wilds?
it. I mean, we know the answer, but
Are afraid one day Monster Hunter DLC might include monster materials or pay-to-win items. So far, Monster Hunter DLC has remained aesthetic only. Can you confirm that is still going to be the case moving forward?
Yeah, we're sticking with the same direction we've always had.
yeah, Ryozo will never allow it.
Elemental damage going to play a more meaningful role in Monster Hunter Wilds?
Ooh, good question, good question.
Elemental damage tends to have different levels of importance depending on the game and how it fits into the overall game design and the combat design. I don't want it to become pointless, but at the same time, I don't want it to become the main focus. It's the only thing you need to think about, and it's too powerful compared to other aspects of weapon design. So we're working on having it be part of a balanced gameplay system.
So you mentioned that there's going to be these temporary camps that can be placed in dangerous locations, which means they can be attacked by monsters. Can you elaborate on this mechanic?
There are areas where you can place a pop-up camp and it'll be essentially guaranteed safe because no monsters patrol there, nothing ever comes past.
I love the tent
and
animation.
then there's a sort of 3 levels where you've got like safe up to completely dangerous, where it's very close to where dangerous monsters tend to roam, and there's a high chance that if the monster comes past your camp, it's going to just attack it and break it because it's very aggressive. At the same time, not all monsters react to camps in the same way. Some of them who are more of a threat will sort of see a pop-up camp in their territory as something they want to attack and break.
That's so cute.
Others might notice it.
I like imagining them just being like, what is this? And then just walking over to it and eating it, like just tearing it apart with their face. Like, I don't know why. I find that adorable.
But maybe, not really pay attention to it too much. So there's different levels of consideration that you're going to have to give. How much do you want to have a high risk, high reward, convenient placement of the camp in an area where
I'm always going to be putting my camp like as close as possible to the monster. It is what it is. I don't care. And then if a monster comes to destroy it, I'll like be like, oh, that's so cute. I'll just put it back up. Thank you.
end up getting broken and disappearing? Or how much do you want to?
Though I guess that will depend. That will be heavily dependent on if like popping up a tent takes mats and how hard them. I think it does take mats, and then just how hard those mats are to get. That'll definitely have like a huge determinant on that.
Stay on the sidelines more and have further to travel, but have much less risk of it being destroyed.
Thank you for the follow.
I'm assuming there's going to be some materials required to craft the pop-up camps?
Oh, hey. I think we already knew that it did.
Not materials so much, but there are points you spend to create them.
Oh, it does take mats. I could have sworn we already knew that it takes mats. It takes points. Oh, so it's going to be like guild points. Kind of like how you use your points to make a meal in World and stuff.
So, with the introduction of the new system where we can switch between 2 weapons, there's now a fear that some players will just want to use the hunting horn to buff themselves and then swap in.
Oh, this was a big question. Oh, wait. You guys were asking about this last time. You were asking about this. You wanted to know. Here.
Will just want to use.
Wait, here.
So, with the introduction of the new system where we can switch between 2 weapons, there's now a fear that some players will just want to use the hunting horn to buff themselves and then swap into a different weapon. Is this something that you have considered?
Yeah, I'm aware it's a hot topic in the community. The system where you can choose any 2 weapons is important, and I don't want to limit people from choosing a hunting horn as a secondary if they want to do that. And I also want to make it so that the hunting horn buffs you apply will remain on you even if you change back to another weapon in
There you go. That answered your questions. You were asking. It'll still transfer if you switch weapons.
your possession, because that's only fair and it makes sense. But the concern that it's some sort of balance breaker where people will just be permanently buffed is something I'm aware of, and we're working on making sure that it remains a balance.
Oh, that move! Wait, that move looked so good. Okay, also, I'm really happy that they want to do the balancing, but also, dude, that move! Did you see that? That looks so good.
Permanently buffed is something I'm aware of, and we're
This
working
one.
on making sure that it remains
That
a
looked
balanced
nice.
system so that hunting horn doesn't become the only viable secondary weapon.
Thank you. I'm so glad that they're like, we acknowledge that you guys love to have your fucking metas, and no.
Do you think that Ryozu will consider learning hunting horn so that his hammer will deal more damage?
No.
No. Look how much he's laughing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. Bonk is life.
Yes! Oh, I fucking love you.
It's typical for Monster Hunter to reveal a huge
Yeah, he didn't hesitate at all. He's like, nope.
portion of the monster lineup ahead of the release of the game,
Oh,
leaving only a few surprises.
this is good.
But those surprises are very special for the players. Have you considered keeping more monsters secret?
Oh gosh, I hope the answer is yes, because I don't want to know the whole roster before the game releases. Please be yes.
Like maybe not revealing as much of the monster roster?
I think our current style works for us. The monsters tie into the rest of the elements of the
Aw.
game so closely that it isn't just like revealing a character and that's it. The monsters we choose to show you in advance as each trailer comes along and we show you a new monster, maybe the environment it lives in, they really give people an idea of what to expect from the game. So not just the monster design, but I see that it lives in this area and that gives me a clue as to how the gameplay might feel. So we're pretty happy with our current approach.
I mean, their current approach is... Sorry, I paused on his butthole again. their current approach so far is they haven't shown a huge part of the roster yet, so maybe we still won't get everything revealed. It's beautiful.
かなり後半のステージ
The main reason we don't show a monster in advance would be because it ties in with the storyline and the
That's good.
sort of final few maps you might discover and the way the
Did
story
you hear that though? Did you hear that? Final few maps you might discover. Few maps. That's more than one. That's more than two. Few is more than two.
develops it towards the
Math.
ending of the game, and we
Quick
don't want
maths.
to ruin that for people right up front. So of course you always have to keep some things close to your chest so that people will still enjoy discovering what happens as the story progresses. I think with Monster Hunter,
I love Ryozo. Why does man always look so grumpy? Be happy. he always looks so grumpy in these.
Underworld, we probably
Few usually means 3. Yeah, but they said few more. Few more. So at least 3 more maps than what we've already seen, because we've already seen 2.
showed more monsters than usual because it was something of a reapproach of the series to the West. It was a reintroduction because a lot of new players were getting on
Yeah,
board
it could
at
be a
that time
translation thing.
who hadn't before, and we wanted to let you know this is what Monster Hunter is all about. This is the kind of lineup you can expect. So now that we're where we are with our global fan base, I think that we can afford to reveal enough monsters to make you interested and excited, but to keep plenty in our pockets so that you can discover it once the game comes out.
Look at the
It
detail
just
on
feels
that.
very nice to find a monster that we haven't really seen yet, or to just find something that wasn't really announced. In Iceborne, I didn't really know that the Guiding Lands existed, and so when I finished the story and then I went on to discover the Guiding Lands, it felt amazing because it was this whole new map that I didn't even know existed. Can we craft skill decorations in Monster Hunter Wilds?
Oh,
この辺りはまあちょっと
That ties in with the Endgame contents a little bit, so I don't really want to get into it right now. but,
ooh,
you know,
look at that
stay
smile he
excited.
had though. Look at that smile he had.
Gunlance shelling level is usually a source of great frustration because a majority of the gunlances never really hit max shelling level. Are there any plans to change this?
攻撃力
We could craft basic decos. Yeah, well, they seem to think they're like they're implying that it's an endgame thing. So I don't know. Does that mean we don't even get decos for a while?
Yeah, I'm aware of the issue where fans felt that beyond a certain point, if the shelling level wasn't reaching what it needed to be, then the rest of the properties of the weapon kind of didn't really matter because that was such an important overriding factor. So we've actually changed the calculation this time for the overall power of each gun lance that you craft. So in addition to the shelling level and the attack type, there's a basic attack power stat that will scale up as you progress down the crafting tree. And the way they're calculated together is more balanced now so that it isn't overwhelmingly affected by just the shelling level. And you'll have much more viable gun lances later in the tree thanks to the higher attack power. So I'm sure the details will become clearer once we get closer to release and you're able to get your hands on it. But he actually checked into the details he could describe about that today because we spoke earlier after you and I spoke. He spoke with the dev team in Japan to check the details so that you'd be satisfied with the updated gunland system.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Is that it?
Okay, so this is this
Oh, no.
last question I
Last
told
question.
you about. So if you could please just translate. This is from my friend Gaijin Hunter.
Oh.
Nyanta no fukatsu tanomimasu.
No.
Did I say that right? Yeah. We're not saying okay to your question. We're saying you pronounced it okay. You asked for the Prowler system to return. We understood your pronunciation, but that's it.
That's it. I'm glad they didn't confirm. Thank goodness. I don't want Prowler back. Oh my gosh. Ryozo is so cute. Oh, thank you, Rurikhan, for doing that. I'm so glad that, like, I'm jealous that I'm jealous that I don't have, like, that kind of sway to be able to be one of those people who gets to interview the Wilds developers, but I'm so grateful that we do have people who can, so that we can watch it and get all these answers to our questions. Even though some of our answers were like, maybe, you'll find out. We don't want to talk about it. But there were some good confirmations in here, especially the confirmation of no paid items like materials and stuff. That was good. Very good. And obviously the most important question, that Ryozo will never ever stop using hammer. That was good. Thank you. I'm so glad we could watch that. I'm excited. I want more surprises. I can't wait to play. I know I won't shut up about it, but I can't wait to play in 4 days. 4 days I get to play, guys. I get to play Wilds, and I won't shut up about it. And I won't shut up about it afterwards. And you're gonna have to deal with the millions of pictures that I'll probably post in Discord and me talking about it the day after nonstop for like 5 million weeks. I'm excited. Let's hunt.